Hello guys!
Welcome back to our humble about
BLDG Production. So for today, we'll be having again another lesson, new topic for our basic Spanish tutorial. Indicative or subjunctive. Eric Cryptos studies Italian.
Eric Cryptos estudia italiano.
Indicativo o subjuntivo.
Subjuntivo.
It is possible that Ina Bellino studies Arabic.
Es posible que Ina Bellino estudie árabe.
Indicativo o subjuntivo.
Indicativo.
I'm sure that Papa Shag studies English.
Estoy segura que Papa Shag estudia inglés.
Indicativo o subjuntivo.
Subjuntivo.
I doubt that Room 3D TV studies Spanish.
Dudo que Room 3D TV estudie español.
Indicativo o subjuntivo.
Indicativo. Estoy liada, profe. No tengo ni idea sobre el subjuntivo ni el indicativo.
No te preocupes, Luningning. Te voy a explicar ahora. Don't you worry, Luningning. I'm going to explain how to differentiate indicative and subjunctive mood in the simple present tense in Spanish. Alright guys, so please stay tuned and I'm going to explain these two moods in Spanish. Okay, but focusing more on how to express simple present tense in the subjunctive mood. Welcome back guys and thanks for tuning in. So let's go back to our previous sentences. The first sentence, Eric Cryptos estudia italiano is a fact. Okay, so this is in the indicative mood. Presente del modo indicativo. Estudia is the conjugated form of the third person singular, él, ella, usted. Okay, let's recall conjugating the verb estudiar, to study, in the indicative mood. First person, I study.
Yo estudio.
Second person, you study.
Tú estudias.
Third person, singular, he or she studies.
Él o ella estudia.
First person, plural, we study.
Nosotros estudiamos.
Second person, plural, you study.
Vosotros estudiáis.
Third person, plural, they study.
Ellos, ellas estudian.
So in the first sentence, we are going to use these conjugations, okay, the indicative mood, because we are stating general truth or facts. The second sentence, es posible que Ina Bellino estudie árabe, expresses a hypothetical situation. So it may be true or not. So when we express hypothetical situations or when we state, for example, our hopes, wishes, and desires, then we are going to use the subjunctive mood, el modo subjuntivo. How do we conjugate present tense in the subjunctive mood?
Vamos a conjugar el verbo estudiar en el presente del modo subjuntivo.
El presente subjuntivo, that I study.
Que yo estudie.
That you study.
Que tú estudies.
That he or she studies.
Que él, ella estudie.
That we study.
Que nosotros estudiemos.
That you study.
Que vosotros estudiéis.
That they study.
Que ellos, ellas estudien.
Okay, so you notice that there is a change, okay, from, for instance, estudia, estudie. Estudia, que estudie. So you notice the difference? Estudio, que estudie. Estudias, que estudies. Estudia, que estudie. And so on and so forth. So for AR ending verbs, the A is changed to E in the subjunctive mood. Estudia, que estudie. So this is our clue, guys. So if it states facts or general truth, we are going to use the indicative mood, el modo indicativo. When it states uncertainty, hypothetical situations, hopes, wishes, and dreams, then we have to use the subjunctive mood, el modo subjuntivo. Let's find out more about these moods in Spanish. The third sentence, I'm sure that Papa Shag studies English.
Estoy segura que Papa Shag estudia inglés.
This sentence states a fact. So we use the indicative mood, estudia, and not estudia. The last sentence, I doubt that Room 3D TV studies Spanish.
Dudo que Room 3D TV estudie español.
This shows uncertainty, so we are going to use the subjunctive mood, que estudie and not que estudie. These are the highlights or features when to use correctly the subjunctive mood. There are two subjects, two verbs, and a relative pronoun. Let's take the first one, two subjects. A subjunctive sentence has one subject in the main clause and one in the secondary clause. So let's conjugate the verb hablar, which means to speak or to talk, in the present indicative mood, presente indicativo. So let's try to conjugate hablar. I speak.
Yo hablo.
You speak.
Tú hablas.
He or she speaks.
Él o ella habla.
We speak.
Nosotros hablamos.
You speak.
Vosotros habláis.
They speak.
Ellos, ellas hablan.
What about the present tense in the subjunctive mood? El presente subjuntivo. That I speak.
Que hable.
That you speak.
Que hables.
That he or she speaks.
Que hable.
That we speak.
Que hablemos.
That you speak.
Que habléis.
That they speak.
Que hablen.
Let's take some examples. Kuya IG wants to talk to you.
Cuya IG quiere que tú hables con él.
Kuya IG quiere que tú hables con él. So we do not say Kuya IG quiere que tú hablas con él. So this is incorrect, okay? So the verb in the main clause uses the indicative mood, quiere, and the secondary clause uses the subjunctive mood, que tú hables. So it's incorrect if we say
Cuya IG quiere que tú hablas con él.
So the correct answer or the correct way is
Cuya IG quiere que tú hables con él.
quiere que tú hables con él. It is possible to use the subjunctive when both clauses refer to the same subject. So let's take this for instance.
Dudo que yo pueda ir a la boda.
So we don't say dudo que yo puedo ir a la fiesta, since this sentence shows uncertainty. So the verb in the secondary clause uses the subjunctive mood, pueda. Let's conjugate the irregular verb poder, which means can, in the indicative mood. I can.
Puedo.
You can.
Puedes.
He or she can.
Puede.
We can.
Podemos.
You can.
Podéis.
They can.
Pueden.
What about in the subjunctive mood? Presente subjuntivo. That I can.
Que yo pueda.
That you can.
Que tú puedas.
That he or she can.
Que él o ella pueda.
That we can.
Que nosotros podamos.
That you can.
Que vosotros podáis.
That they can.
Que ellos, ellas puedan.
Okay, so we have pueda, puedas, que pueda, podamos, podáis, puedan. You notice the difference? This is an ER ending verb, and the conjugated form in the subjunctive mood is changed from E to A. So like puede in the indicative and pueda in the subjunctive. Let's take another sentence. I hope I know how to do it.
Espero que yo lo sepa hacer.
This sentence denotes hope or uncertainty that you can do a certain thing, so you need to use the subjunctive mood. Let's recall the conjugation of the verb in the present tense, okay, in the indicative mood, okay, for the verb saber. So saber, which means to know, okay. Indicative, I know,
Sé,
you know,
sabes,
he or she knows,
sabe,
we know,
sabemos,
you know,
sabéis,
they know.
saben.
Let's also have the subjunctive mood. That I know,
Que yo sepa,
that you know,
que tú sepas,
that he or she knows,
que él o que ella sepa,
that we know,
que nosotros sepamos,
that you know,
que vosotros sepáis,
that they know.
que ellos, ellas sepan.
You notice how irregular it is, the verb saber in the subjunctive mood?
Sí, profe.
Let's have the second highlight of using the subjunctive mood. Okay, two verbs. So there are two verbs when we are using the subjunctive mood. So most subjunctive sentences have two verbs. A verb in the indicative in the main clause and a verb in the subjunctive in the secondary clause. Let's take some examples. Ramos Esme wants you to clean the room.
Ramos Esme quiere que tú limpies la habitación.
The first clause uses the verb quiere in the indicative mood, and the secondary verb uses the subjunctive mood, que tú limpies. So we don't use que tú limpias. So normally, when there are two verbs in the sentence, the secondary verb to be used should be expressed in the subjunctive mood. Let's take the third highlight or feature of a subjunctive sentence, and that is a relative pronoun. Most subjunctive sentences have a relative pronoun such as que or quien that links the main indicative clause to the secondary or subjunctive clause. So let's take some more examples about subjunctive sentences. Hannah Molina wants you to call the boss.
Hannah Molina quiere que tú llames al jefe.
Que tú llames al jefe. Mylene Angelo 18 needs you to send money now.
Mylene Angelo 18 necesita que tú envíes el dinero ahora.
Love for Downs wants you to receive the package.
Love for Downs quiere que tú recibas el paquete.
Alright, for the final countdown, or final I should say, I'm going to conjugate the verb in the indicative mood and Luningning will conjugate in the subjunctive mood. Okay, so let's have an AR ending verb. Amar. So amar means to love. Yo amo.
Que yo ame.
Tú amas.
Que tú ames.
Él, ella o usted ama.
Que él, ella, usted ame.
Nosotros amamos.
Que nosotros amemos.
Vosotros amáis.
Que vosotros améis.
Ellos, ellas, ustedes aman.
Que ellos, ellas, ustedes amen.
Let's have an ER ending verb. Beber. Beber means to drink. Yo bebo.
Que yo beba.
Tú bebes.
Que tú bebas.
Él, ella, usted bebe.
Que él, ella, usted beba.
Nosotros bebemos.
Que nosotros bebamos.
Vosotros bebéis.
Que vosotros bebáis.
Ellos, ellas, ustedes beben.
Que ellos, ellas, ustedes beban.
Let's have an IR ending verb. Vivir. Vivir means to live. Yo vivo.
Que yo viva.
Tú vives.
Que tú vivas.
Él, ella o usted vive.
Que ella, él, usted viva.
Nosotros vivimos.
Que nosotros vivamos.
Vosotros vivís.
Que vosotros viváis.
Ellos, ellas, ustedes viven.
Que ellos, ellas, ustedes vivan.
Let's also try to conjugate some irregular verbs. So irregular verbs are somewhat more difficult than the regular verbs. Okay, let's take the first verb, dar. So dar means to give. I give, yo doy.
Que yo dé.
Tú das.
Que tú des.
Él, ella, usted da.
Que él, ella, usted dé.
Nosotros damos.
Que nosotros demos.
Vosotros dais.
Que vosotros deis.
Ellos, ellas, ustedes dan.
Que ellos, ellas, ustedes den.
Let's try an ER irregular verb. Saber. Saber means to know. I know. Yo sé.
Que yo sepa.
Tú sabes.
Que tú sepas.
Él, ella, usted sabe.
Que él, ella, usted sepa.
Nosotros sabemos.
Que nosotros sepamos.
Vosotros sabéis.
Que vosotros sepáis.
Ellos, ellas, ustedes saben.
Que ellos, ellas, ustedes sepan.
Let's also have an IR ending verb, pedir. Pedir means to ask for something or to request. Okay, I request. Yo pido.
Que yo pida.
Tú pides.
Que tú pidas.
Él, ella, usted pide.
Que él, ella, usted pida.
Nosotros pedimos.
Que nosotros pidamos.
Vosotros pedís.
Que vosotros pidáis.
Ellos, ellas, ustedes piden.
Que ellos, ellas, ustedes pidan.
Hope this lesson that you have just heard will help you when to use the indicative and subjunctive mood in Spanish. So we call it a day, Ningning.
Muchas gracias, profe, por esta presentación sobre el modo subjuntivo. Ya sé perfectamente cuando uso los subjuntivos y también conjugar estos verbos en los modos indicativo y subjuntivo.
Muy bien. Os veo en la siguiente clase. Muchas gracias.
Adiós.
Chao.
Hasta luego.
Luego.